Who controls the world's wealth? Natural resources shape the destiny of nations, from energy dominance to strategic influence. But which countries sit on the biggest treasure troves beneath their feet? In this video, we count down the top 5 nations by total natural resource value and explore whether they're putting that wealth to good use. Iran, energy-rich but sanctioned. Coming in at number 5 is Iran, with an estimated $27 trillion in natural resources. Iran's wealth lies primarily in oil and natural gas, making it one of the top reserve holders in the world. It also has valuable copper and other minerals. However, international sanctions have severely limited its ability to export and monetize this wealth. Iran's government debt is moderate at about 40% of GDP, but inflation and currency challenges remain serious issues. While it does export oil, geopolitical tension often curbs its full potential. Canada, nature's warehouse. At number 4 is Canada, holding around $33 trillion in natural resources. Canada is blessed with vast oil sands, expansive timber, rich mineral deposits, and access to 1/5 of the world's fresh water. It exports heavily, especially to the U.S., and its resource economy supports mining, forestry, and energy sectors. However, Canada's government debt is relatively high, sitting at over 110% of GDP, partially due to pandemic-era spending. Still, its stable political climate and strong trade ties make it a key global supplier. Saudi Arabia, oil kingdom. Number 3 is Saudi Arabia, with resources valued at roughly $34 trillion, largely driven by oil and natural gas. It's home to Aramco, the world's most valuable oil company, and it exports petroleum to nations across the globe. The kingdom's government debt remains low, around 30% of GDP, thanks to high energy revenues. Saudi Arabia is also using its resource windfall to diversify its economy through Vision 2030, investing in infrastructure, tourism, and tech. Still, oil remains its economic backbone. United States, resource giant with debt. Number 2 is the United States, with a natural resource value estimated at $45 trillion. The U.S. leads in oil production thanks to shale, but it also boasts abundant coal, timber, gold, and natural gas. Despite its vast resources, the U.S. has over $36 trillion in government debt, which now exceeds 120% of GDP. The country exports resources like LNG and agricultural commodities, but remains a top consumer. The key question: can a country rich in resources also sustain rising debt and still lead the world economically? Russia, the world's underground powerhouse. At number 1 is Russia, sitting on an estimated $75 trillion in natural resources, the most in the world. Its vast landmass holds enormous oil, gas, coal, timber, and precious metal reserves. Russia remains a major exporter, particularly of energy to Europe and Asia, although international sanctions have altered trade patterns. Interestingly, its government debt is very low, around 20% of GDP. But geopolitical risks and war-related sanctions limit access to global capital and technology. Nonetheless, Russia's resource reserves continue to play a central role in global energy markets. Why? It matters. Resources versus debt. So what does all of this mean? Natural resource wealth can be a powerful asset, but only if it's well managed. Several of these top countries face high debt burdens or sanctions, while others benefit from strong trade ties and domestic investment. With global demand shifting toward clean energy and strategic minerals, the next decade will test how these nations adapt. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Which of these countries do you think is best positioned for the future? Thanks for watching.